Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she technically stole from me when she went grocery shopping using my credit card while I was asleep?
Ooh.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Don't Go Broke Trying. I am your host Rennie, and this is our Coinfessions episode. In these episodes, these are mini-sodes where we basically answer questions that relate to the episode that we just had. We just had an episode with Sono here, and Sono talked to us about how he paid off $23,000 in consumer debt and how he was able to overcome that. So thank you for telling us that story.
No worries.
And thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We are going to answer some questions from my audience. Are you ready?
All right, bet. Let's go.
Okay.
This is not financial advice.
Oh, yes. Just a disclaimer that this is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion and Sono's personal opinion.
Yep.
We are not trying to give any financial advice. And also, do you want to introduce yourself maybe?
Okay. I'm Sono. I am on this podcast.
Yeah?
That works.
Is
right?
that your only introduction?
Okay. I model. I work as a management trainee for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I love sports, music, food. Getting married in 2 months.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
We can't wait for the wedding.
Right? Neither can I, man.
Okay, so let's get into our first coinfession. And
Okay.
everyone, if you want to submit a coinfession, you can. All you have to do is email us at dgbt@rennietheresource.com. This can be a question about any topic that is money related. So feel free to email us.
Will do.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. How do I, 27 female, tell my husband, 29 male, of 3 years, that I've racked up $20,000 in credit card debt?
Just like that. Just like that.
Wait. Let me read the whole thing.
Just tell him I've racked up $22,000 in credit card debt.
My husband and I have been together for 7 years, married for 3. We split all house finances. We own our home, but we have separate checking accounts, savings accounts, credit cards, etc. He manages his money very well. I do not. He never keeps a rotating balance on his credit card. I have maxed out my Discover card at 12.5K, and I have an Amex at 1.6K, and I have an Amex on, wait, they wrote it weird, but I have a 1.6K balance on an Amex. And I took out a personal loan of about 7.5K to cover previous debts.
Okay. See, me.
It's gotten to the point where I'm tired of hiding this from him, and I'm scared of my future. I have a decent job, and I've recently got another part-time job a few months ago to help pay down my debt. It just feels like I'm drowning. How do I tell him? Yeah, so I'm sure you can tell why I brought this question to you.
That's me. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
See, what makes it hard is that there's already a period of having not told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took to get there, but that's a...
In an ideal world, I feel like you should be able to tell your partner pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, life isn't that way. But what I would do if I was in that situation, I would just come clean. I'm like, hey, partner, this is the situation. I need your help. I need your support. If we're not going to work through it together, how can I work through this? Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah. Honesty is the best policy. Obviously, it would have been better if you were honest from the jump. But I think you have to be honest with him. And you also have to tell him, like, I would say come with a plan to pay it off.
Exactly. Have a plan and then ask for support working that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it was different too because I'm the guy. I'm the man in the relationship. So it was a lot of pressure on me to have everything under control. Whereas I would say traditionally, the woman kind of, in as much as she might have her own, she still kind of leans on him a little bit to kind of take the lead in that regard. I would say give him the benefit of the doubt and trust that he will want to support you through this as well.
Yeah. And another reason why I think it's very important to tell him is because imagine maybe he's like next year he wants to buy a rental property and then it's like
his credit is here and yours is there.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be the reason that you guys can't get that.
And it's not even just being the reason. It's like it's a secret,
It's
so
gonna come out. It's
yeah,
going to have to
it will
come
come
out.
out
So
eventually.
yeah,
So yeah, you need to tell him immediately, like
yeah,
tonight,
yeah,
yesterday. You need to tell him yesterday.
exactly.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of shame around debts, but you need to tell him. You also need to set up a plan in order to pay it off.
The thing is, you're already there.
Yeah,
The shame is already there.
yeah,
Just shame it all the way.
yeah.
They say, okay, yo, I'm embarrassed about this thing. This is the situation. How can we work through this?
Yes. Here are a few people who responded on Reddit to this.
Mm,
They said, I think sit him down, pull the band-aid off, and be 100% honest.
facts.
Be honest about your spending and exactly how much. Do not lie or trickle truth it. Think about the real changes you will have to make to your life in order to turn the situation around. Think about what allowed you to get to this point in
Yep.
this situation. Bored, lonely, unhappy, mental health issues, etc. What was the reason? Decide if you're serious about those changes. This
Mhm.
isn't a pay down debt to rack it back up later thing. This is taking stock of why you're spending so much, possible impulsivity or addictive behaviors,
Mhm.
shopping to block emotional pain, etc.
Oof,
Money and
child.
trust can cause major issues in a relationship. Trust isn't always about just not cheating. This is a trust you broke. Yeah.
No,
They said it perfect.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't need to say
Yeah.
anything else. That's
They
mint.
said it perfectly. You
Yeah.
broke your, and I don't even know when you tell them, like,
Mm,
I don't know, me finding out, of course I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try and help my partner, but I'd
yeah.
be like hurt that
How
they felt
long did
like
you
they
keep
could.
this from me?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
come on, we're supposed to be partners. You
Exactly.
literally got married to each other. Okay, next confession, and this one was from one of my followers. Should I get a loan to pay off my credit card debt?
No. No.
Yeah, and everyone, you should watch the previous episode because Sono tells us about how he got a loan to pay off his credit card debt. We do not
It just
recommend.
gets worse because what you're doing is digging from one hole to fill another hole.
Yeah,
But then when you dig from here to fill this hole, you still have this hole.
yeah,
So the way I like to look at debt in that way is kind of like think of it as like your overall net worth, right? So this is zero here. If I owe this much on my credit card and I have this much in my savings account
hmm,
and I dump it, like right now my average is still going to be there. So if you're gonna take from here to pay into that, you're still at the same place.
yeah,
So what you don't want to do is dig another hole to fill another hole because you still have this hole at the end of the day.
yeah.
You're stuck with this, and you're in the same position.
Yeah. Okay, so let's read the full submission.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Rennie, I hope you're having a great week so far. I know a lot of your content is geared towards finances, and I was wondering if you could give me any tips in regards to getting a loan to pay off a credit card. If so, is there a bank you would recommend with a lower interest rate that can help me pay it off? And is getting a loan something you recommend, especially for someone looking to purchase a home later on in life? Yeah. Did this hit home?
That's me, man. I've tried the whole like consolidated loan thing. I also didn't get approved for it either because
Mm,
I was in that bad of a spot.
yeah.
But yeah, borrowing money to pay off more money doesn't make sense because it's just you still have to pay that one
Yeah.
back.
My suggestion in this situation would be to look at zero balance credit cards. You have a credit card. I'm guessing your loans are credit cards. Oh, yeah, you said they are. They're credit cards. They have a 19.99% interest rate. If you go and get a payday loan, for example, which also has maybe a 20, 30, I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
percent interest rate,
Crazy.
that doesn't make any sense. And I would not recommend you do that. But there are these things called 0% interest credit cards where they'll say, okay, if you transfer your credit card balance to us if you transfer your credit card balance to us, then we will give you 0% interest for the next 6 months, for the next 9 months. And if you do that, in those next 6 months, I need you to pay off as much as possible
Mm-hmm.
during that time. But then remember, it's going to go right back up and the interest rate's going to shoot through the roof. So
Exactly.
you need to make sure that if you're going to do that and transfer it to another credit card, that is zero balance. Once that due date hits, it should either be paid off or
Mm.
you need to, like, I don't know, you need to move it to another.
Yeah, because the thing is too is if we're looking at your overall like credit score, for example,
Mm,
each time you apply for a loan,
yeah,
it's your credit,
yeah,
right? So then if you're trying to pay off this credit card to fix your credit, essentially, going to borrow money to do that kind of just puts you in a worse position than when you started off. So
for
it's just
sure. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, their question was about if they're looking to buy a home later in life, is this going to affect them? And just like Sona said, it is going to affect you
100%.
if you
Yeah.
are constantly applying for different types of credit, because
Mhm.
again, that is the way credit inquiries do affect your your credit score
Hmm.
overall. Yeah, unfortunately. So I would say please don't get a payday loan. If you can get a friend to loan you money at
Exactly.
0% interest, that's the
Exactly.
perfect
Yeah.
situation. Maybe a family member. Yeah,
Mm.
but
But even then, that's a line you want to be careful not to
yeah.
cross, because if you know you're not going to be responsible with it, you don't want to sully that relationship with the
Mm-mm.
person. So,
Mm-mm. Yeah, be
yeah.
wise. Yeah. And make sure you make a plan to get out of this situation. Okay, next confession, or this one is just a open-ended question. I'm 17 years old and I just got a new credit card. What are some ways I could be smart with my money? So this is I'm very impressed by this person.
17.
You're only 17 and you're already asking these questions, which means you know there's a wrong way to use credit
Exactly.
card.
That person's set up already.
Yeah, so what are some ways that they could be smart with their new credit card?
I also didn't know that you could get a credit card at 17, so that's
Oh
news to me.
yeah, maybe they're in a different country. I don't know.
Maybe. Or
Yeah.
maybe they're like attached to their parents' credit card or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Um, how do I be smart with my credit card? Well, for one, don't do the whole 70% of your card thing.
Yes.
It should be the inverse of that.
Hmm.
So what I've been doing for the past little while, with my credit cards is just I try to stay at 25, like max. Like
And
I
can you explain
use
what you mean by 25?
so let's say for example my credit card is $1,000. I never want to spend more than 250 of it. And when I pay it back, I don't just pay everything back on my due date. I actually pay twice. So if I have that 250 to pay, I'll pay 125 this week, 125 next week,
Hmm.
because then I'm not sure if that's how it works, but when I started making multiple payments toward the same balance versus one big payment every so often, I my credit score went up a lot faster.
Hmm. Okay.
I'll do some homework on that actually to see how it works. But yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
instead of me paying once a month, I'd pay two, three times a month to the same balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So what? So there are five things that come into effect or five things that are contribute to your credit score. There's a credit. I don't know. I'm reading this off the top of my. I'm
Mm.
remembering this. So the credit
Credit
utilization
utilization.
rate, which
Yep.
is basically saying that you need to use 30% or less of the total credit that you are given every month. So if you are given a $1,000 limit, for example, you don't want to use all 1,000 every month. You want to use $300 or less,
Max.
and
Yeah.
that is showing the credit bureau that, oh, you're responsible with your money, although we gave you 1,000,
Mm.
you don't
He's
necessarily
like, I
need
don't
to use.
need this
Yeah,
money.
which is so
Exactly.
annoying. Like, why can't they just be, they can't just be straight up with us and,
Yeah. No.
but whatever. Another thing is credit inquiries. So
Mm-hmm.
they see how many times are you actually applying for credit.
Yep.
So if you are applying for credit cards, if you go to the mall and they offer you a credit card and you apply for it, if you go to school and stop doing that, okay?
Think of it like this: the content of a credit inquiry is like, oh, yo, can I borrow some money off of you? Oh, hey, can I borrow some money off of you?
Hmm.
Oh, can I borrow money? If you're going to all these people to borrow money from them, what does that say about you as an individual? Like
Exactly.
how financially responsible you are.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to make sure that you're doing as minimal. I mean, we're not saying don't apply for credit, but
Hmm.
you don't want to be
Don't do it
overdoing it.
unnecessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Only when you need it.
Yeah.
The next thing is the types of credit that you have.
Yeah.
That has a big impact on your
Hmm.
credit score. So there are credit cards, but there's also mortgage. There's your phone bill actually in Canada
Hmm.
contributes to,
Yep.
and then what other line of
Yep.
credit? Payday loans would be another type.
Something like that.
So you want to make sure that you have a few types of credit, but you don't want to use the types like payday
No, you
loans.
do not want to do that.
Yeah.
Also, the types of credit cards too. Like they have like the secured, like the Capital One secured credit card, like guaranteed credit card. I had
Hmm.
one of those. I know.
Hmm.
So those kinds of credit cards actually, in as much as you can use it to build your credit, the fact that you have one or applied for one of those also kind of indicates to the credit bureau this is the kind of customer you are.
Yeah.
So even the types of credit cards you got to be careful with that too.
Yes, very true. Another factor is the length of your credit history,
Yep.
and this is the big thing. We
Your
spoke about
credit
this in the
age.
previous episode,
Yeah.
but if you are 17 and then maybe say in 3 years you're like, I don't want this credit card anymore. I want to close it.
Don't do that.
That's a no-no
Don't do
because
it.
you're saying now I have no credit history
Exactly.
because you've closed your credit card. So my suggestion would be this first credit card that you've opened, keep it open for as long as
Mhm.
possible, forever ideally.
What I did is a situation like that with a credit card I never really wanted to use anymore. It's paid off, but then I had a recurring payment from my checking account to that card. Then I had my phone bill auto pay from that credit card.
Exactly.
So it's still active,
Hmm.
but I don't even have it. It's in my room
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't even know where it
And
is
I think
physically.
that's key. You want to make sure, even if you're not using it, you keep it active
Active.
because they
Yeah.
will close it if you don't use it for a certain amount of time. I'm not even sure how long it
I'm
is.
not sure
It
either.
could be a year, but what I do, same as you, I'll put one bill on it and I
Mhm.
just continuously pay it off.
Yeah.
Make sure you're paying it off. And that would be the last factor.
Mhm.
How frequently or how much you owe on your credit card is one.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest. Yeah, that's one of the biggest
Your
things.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, your payment history and then your amounts owed.
Mhm.
So if you owe money on your credit card, that's a no-no. You do not want to owe any money on your
No,
credit
you
card.
don't.
The way I use my credit card is like a debit card.
Mhm.
So essentially, I use it. I only use as much money that I have in my
Right.
bank account.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
if they give me a $5,000 limit, I right now have like a $50,000 limit
Mhm.
across my credit cards. But that does I don't have $50,000 in cash, so I don't use
Yeah.
$50,000.
No.
But if I want to buy something of $1,000 and I have $1,000 in cash,
Mhm.
I will put it on the credit card.
Exactly.
Yeah. So don't use any more than you've. Yeah.
Don't spend what you don't have.
Yeah. I think that's good advice for the
Yeah.
17-year-olds.
Solid. Don't use what you don't have.
Yes. Okay. Another submission that we got another follower. Hi, Rennie. I came across your video on TikTok talking about how your dad introduced credit cards to you, and then I was so intrigued and I went to your podcast and listened to it. I just turned 18 and I'm currently looking into getting a credit card, but I want one that has lots of benefits and that would be of great value to me, but besides a great credit score. For example, discounts on traveling, groceries, and more. I live in Toronto and was wondering if you had any recommendations.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for this, by the
No.
way.
Because
We're not getting paid for any of
I don't know
this.
if we're gonna plug a specific bank or a specific
Yeah.
brand, but what I would say is look into the kind of reward you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like us, really, I like to travel. I just can't do it right now because yeah, wedding. But if you like to travel, then look for a card that has travel rewards. So
hmm
like, but then also see how those points transfer
Yes,
as well.
please do. When I was like maybe 20, I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, let me get a travel credit card."
yeah.
But the points didn't get me
You
anything.
get nothing.
Anything.
You get lucky if you're able to buy a suitcase with them afterwards.
Listen, yeah, so you want to make sure the points actually go far.
Yeah.
Every purchase that you're making is going towards points. And the point, like, I swear I've been using it for like 3 years. I can probably go to Montreal. That's it.
Exactly.
Nowhere, nowhere.
And that's not by air either. That's by
Yeah,
train or something.
yeah. So that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Make sure you look for what you want. Another thing, yeah. So if you're looking for groceries, for example, because groceries are expensive right
Hmm.
now, you want to look
Yep.
for a
Like the
piece.
cashback stuff.
Yeah, either cashback or okay, I'm gonna plug one
Mm.
because whatever.
Yeah.
PC Optimum credit
Yeah.
card is my favorite, definitely my favorite credit card because
Mhm.
it gives me PC points. So with
Exactly.
my PC points, I can get groceries, but I can also get sunscreen. I can get beauty
That's
products. You can
exactly.
use it at Shoppers Drug Mart or any of the Loblaw
And PC's big.
brands.
Exactly. PC's big. So you got
Yeah,
like the no frills,
yeah,
the Canadian Superstore, the
yeah.
whole deal.
But if you're looking for ones for free groceries, I wouldn't recommend like just going. The good thing about this card is that you can use it at any of those stores. If you're
Mm.
getting like a Walmart card, for example, you can
And it's only
only
use it
use
at
it at
Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would not recommend
Yeah.
that. Yeah, those are the main. I think PC would be my main recommendation. I
Because it
think I have
gives
a
you a lot
promo
more.
code as well, so I'll leave it in
Let's
the,
go.
in the I'll leave it in the show notes as well, if in case. Any other cards that you like?
um, Avion.
Oh yes, I've heard really good things about it. I
Hmm.
don't have it
Yeah.
for travel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
For travel is good.
Yeah. Okay. Those are a few. Hopefully that was helpful. Next confession. Is it true that getting a credit card and using it for the sole purpose of making transactions to pay back ASAP is good for your credit score? I know it's a silly question, but I was told by one of my university friends that having a credit card and making small purchases on it to pay back instantly is good for your credit score, and it's best to start young so you can get a mortgage and all of that. Is this true?
I don't know how true it is. I kind of was in a similar situation where I like, okay, I'm gonna be good with my credit card, so I'm gonna buy something in the morning and pay it off when I get home in the evening. But what I had heard from some people in the industry was like, let it sit there for like 2 3 days first, so it actually reflects on the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can pay it back
Mm-hmm.
because it almost looks as if it was never gone if you do that and then pay it back right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. So I was gonna say the same thing. You need to allow
The payment to
the payment
post.
to actually reflect. Because if it never reflects, and it's not just reflecting your credit, so I would say more than two days. It
Yeah,
should actually, you have a statement date and a reporting date.
exactly.
You have to know figure out when your reporting date is. Reporting date means that they're going
You report
to
that to the
report it to
credit
the
bureau.
credit bureau. So credit bureau actually knows that, hey, this person is using the card and they're paying it off after. So
Yeah.
on the reporting date, you have a $50 balance, and by the time your statement is, then there's $0 balance. Then the credit bureau actually knows you're being responsible with your credit.
Exactly.
But if you pay it off every single day or every single time you use it, they don't
You
know.
haven't used your card,
Yeah,
basically.
they
Yeah.
don't know that you've used it. Maybe you'll get points, which is
Yeah.
good. Maybe you'll get whatever benefits the credit card gives, but you won't really get anything else. It's
Yeah.
not helping your credit score. Not
No,
that
it's not hurting it,
yeah,
but it's
exactly.
not really helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. And another recommendation I would give for the 17-year-old is you don't need a credit card that has a annual fee at this
Oh, you
like
have
at that
no
age.
business paying
Yeah.
annual fees. At least through university, you don't need annual fees for
No.
anything.
Even I none of my cards have annual
Same.
fees either.
Yeah.
So I would say stay away from those. There are lots of free card options. Then the banks will try to get you and say like, "Oh, we'll waive the fee for the first year or something
Okay,
like
but then
that."
what happened to the other years?
If they do that, make sure that you downgrade your card back to the free version right before they charge you, because
Don't
they will.
cancel the
They will.
card, but downgrade it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do not cancel it. Do not cancel it, please. Okay, we have two more Coinfessions.
Cool.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she technically stole from me when she went grocery shopping using my credit card while I was asleep?
Ooh.
Ooh, yes. Well,
No, you're not the
no,
asshole.
no.
Not at all.
But let's get, let me read it. No, you're not the asshole. Sorry. Okay. Here's the situation. I, male 27, have been with my girlfriend, female 27, for 7 months. We don't live together, and she has sleepovers at my place regularly. 2 days ago, she spent the night at my place, and in the morning, while I was sleeping in, she got up, got dressed, took my credit card, and went grocery shopping with it. I woke up to a massive breakfast made by her as a surprise, and when I asked how she got money and time to prepare all that, she told me that she took my credit card while I was asleep, headed to the supermarket to get the stuff she needed to make me a surprise breakfast.
That tap is heavy.
I was stunned, and I asked why she didn't ask before taking my credit card. And she said I was sleeping and she didn't want to bother me. Besides that, she wanted this to be a surprise. I just stared and said, I don't know. You do realize you technically stole from me when you took my credit card and went shopping with it, right? She looked at me in complete shock and confusion, and she said that she was trying to do something nice for me, and I implied that she was a thief. I just shrugged and said it was technically true. She was so upset she was so upset that she got up and stormed out of the kitchen crying. She collected her stuff and left after she said she spent time and effort to prepare me breakfast, and I was out of line to say she stole from me just because she forgot her wallet at home. She kept hanging up when I tried calling her and later sent me money for the stuff she bought, although she didn't take anything with her. My sister came over, and when I told her, she called me an ungrateful jerk with no manners to react this way after this display of affection by my girlfriend. She suggested that I get over myself and apologize as soon as possible, but I decided to take my time. So, am I the asshole?
Um, so you know when we're kids and we want to buy gifts for our parents, but we use their money to buy it for them.
Yeah.
So the intention is there. It seems like she had good intentions. I would
Yeah.
like to believe so.
I hope.
That being that being said, yeah, there is still like if we're going based on like remove the human emotion of it, technically yes, it is theft. Or technically it's credit card fraud, right?
Yeah.
But that's tough, man.
Nah, you're not the asshole.
Not at all.
Your girlfriend's the asshole. As you said, she's trying to. She
What is it?
didn't. She wasn't trying to.
Her intention seemed good, but the
Yeah.
execution was
Awful.
yeah.
No, she stole
Yeah.
from you. She dead ass stole from you. There's no ifs, ands, or
Yeah.
buts.
Oh
Like,
man, that sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
she messed up. She may not realize that she messed up, but she did. And her crying and running out saying, "Oh, you call me a thief." Like, what, sis?
You use someone else's credit card without their
yeah.
consent. That's
If
theft.
someone did that to you,
That's
how would you
credit card fraud.
feel? Yeah. Yeah, literally credit card fraud.
Like, oh, I'm gonna steal your credit card. I'm gonna buy you a brand new Tesla.
Yeah, like exactly.
I bought you a Tesla. What are you talking
Why
about?
are you upset? That sounds a little gaslighty to me, you know?
Yeah.
And they've only been together for
7 months
7 months.
is
It's not like
reckless
you're
behavior. Like already?
quite reckless. Yeah, no.
Already? Nah.
I feel like,
If
yeah.
there for me, like so like my fiance has access to like all my like she can do whatever she wants, but we have the understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for me, if there's an understanding, fair game.
Yeah.
But then if there's no one then it's kind of
Yeah.
rubs me the wrong way.
It rubs me the wrong way
Yeah.
too. You
Yeah.
don't take someone's
Mm-mm.
money.
Mm-mm.
Like, and I also just don't like how she threw it back and gaslit
It's
him.
gaslighting,
Yeah, I don't
exactly.
like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And sis, you need to fix up. I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry, but yeah, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the comments.
Mm.
Not the asshole. Am I crazy for being the only one who thinks this? Because everyone else was saying you're the asshole.
Mm.
You don't take someone's credit card. That's a huge violation. Yes, cooking breakfast is very nice. However, buying something for someone with their own money without asking is
Like,
not. Buying someone a birthday gift with their own money is not cool. Why would this be cool?
mm.
Especially with the additional fact someone who they have been dating for mere months thought it was okay to take his credit card. Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Another person said, she's an asshole, but he's also an asshole. He could have said, that wasn't cool. I do not appreciate you taking my card without asking me first.
All that semantics, man. Just
People people who have to bust out descriptors like technically and actually are often insufferable and argumentative pedants. And based on my reading, this original poster falls into that camp. What?
ooh, no. I think the whole technically stuff is him trying not to offend her.
Yeah, it's like, technically that's
Like,
stealing.
technically, it's stealing. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
I know you didn't mean it, but
yeah.
technically, yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm confused that so many people are saying that he is the asshole.
Gotta check those people
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, it's exactly what you said when your parents are when you buy a gift for your parents and
with their money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've said you're not the
No,
asshole.
you're not the asshole,
No.
man.
Okay, last confession. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my mom's credit card bill?
Excuse me?
Me, 18 female, and my mom, 37 female, have always been poor. As far back as I can remember, my mom was always in debt, either to the bank or to family friends that she ended up losing because of it. I recently turned 18 and started doing OnlyFans, and I am trying to save up as much money as I can so I can buy a car and a studio apartment. She either figured out that I have money from me buying new clothes or looking through a bank statement that I threw in the trash, one or the other. Anyway, about a month ago, she started asking me to pay her credit card bill, about $6,000 and change, promising that she'll pay me back in installments from her paycheck. She cuts hair and doesn't have a lot to begin with, not to mention that she's always had trouble budgeting and relied on her boyfriends a lot. What worries me is that she has implied that it's my duty to pay it back because since she used a lot of money on me growing up anyways. And because of putting it that way, I am doubting her intentions that she will ever give me anything back. I don't like it. This is my first time in my life that I am not dirt poor, and it somehow seems like she is trying to take advantage of me. Then again, she did her very best raising me as a single mom after our dad walked out on us and went no contact. She is poor without any opportunities to look to in her life, and her only chance to li- and this is her only chance to live a wait and her only chance to live a moderately comfortable life is shacking herself to some man. It's sad, and I think she deserves a break, but I just don't think I'm the in the position to be providing it. If I were to pay off her credit card, it would blow through 70% of my savings, and I honestly can't spare it right now. Am I selfish? Am I the asshole? Am I leaving my mom in the lurch?
Not an asshole, not even a little bit.
At all.
Um, yeah, no, what I would say is it sounds like you're being, is that gaslighting? Is that blackmail? Not blackmail.
I don't know what the word is.
Guilt. You're
Yeah.
being guilted into taking care. Honestly, what it is enabling. Because if there's a track record of poor financial behavior, just because, so like now I'm a terrible spender, you have money. I'm gonna say, yo, since you have money, you should help me take care of my mistakes.
Yeah.
with no intention on my part to get better, but like, you have the money, just I mean, you can afford it. Just do it. Just pay off my debts for me. All right. I don't need to change the way I spend money. I don't need to do anything. But you have it. Just pay it off for me.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Where they do that at?
Like, come on. No.
No, it's a no for me.
No, hard no.
No.
Like, you can help your mom by giving her small amounts if you're in the position to do so. Because again, you don't want to make things worse for yourself. It's like when you're on a plane, they tell you when the oxygen mask comes down, put yours on first. You got to be able to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. So if you're not in the position to take care of anyone else, sorry.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. And it would be, I know that there's like this guilt this guilt that we have that we need to take care of our parents because they took care of us. Yeah. I totally understand it. Like, this is what I cry about in therapy. So I get it. But you can't pour from an empty cup. We talked about this in the previous episode. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And also, your mom has no plan of paying you back
at all.
So it's very clear that she has no plan of paying you back. So if you are going to give any money to her, you have to know that it's not. It's a gift.
Have money that you're just going to gift. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're also going to get to a point where, and I learned this in therapy, that you're going to get to a point where you experience what's called caregiver burnout. So essentially, you're doing all you can to take care of someone else while enabling their bad behavior. You're going to get to a stage where you just can't anymore. Right? So if, like you said, mom has a chronic history of doing this, there is no reason why all of a sudden she's going to change if you just bail her out of this one time.
She's not going to change. And she even said, in her, like, it's clear
she knows the answer.
Yeah.
She knows the answer.
You know, girl. You know. And I want to acknowledge the hard place that you're in, but you have to take care of yourself before you can move out. And then maybe when you move out, you can say, okay, every month I'm going to budget X amount, and that part is going to be towards my mom. But remember, these are gifts, not loans. I always tell people, do not loan any money that you cannot afford to get back. Facts. Because you're not a bank, okay? Nope. Banks have like a contingency where, like, if you don't pay, we can send it to collections and, we're getting your money back. In this situation,
the banks don't lend you money they don't have.
Yeah.
So let's not even get into that. Yeah.
Exactly. So who are you to lend money that you don't have? And 70% of your savings going towards...
Come on. to someone else's bad behavior?
No. And you can't...
If you want to give it away, I'll send you my e-transfer information. But I wouldn't say just, if you're willing to dump the money, dump it here too. Yeah. Because that's what you'd be doing ultimately. Funding someone else's bad behavior.
Yeah. Let's see what other people have to say about this. Not the asshole. If you pay it off right away, she will just have a renewed feeling of freedom to run up an equal or higher bill right away. Another person said, it's okay to say no and maybe helping her with food on the table or some gas in the car, but her debt is hers, not yours. Yeah. Your financial future is yours to own, and it comes first.
And she's 18.
Yeah, I know. She's just a baby. Like, how are you?
No, that's way too much of a burden for you at that stage. Like, she hasn't even started life yet.
No.
You don't want to be taking care of someone else who...
Yeah, and be careful, because if your mom knows your SIN number, she could actually open a credit card in your name. So you just want to be careful. I know you're moving out soon, but this is something that I've seen a lot on Reddit where people are like, oh, my mom did fraud on me. Yeah, fraud. Me. Yeah. Like, and they opened 5 credit cards, and now my credit score is 400 because of...
I've never opened a credit card before. Like,
it happens pretty often, so just be careful. She thinks you have money now, so she may try to take advantage of that. Another person said, OP means original poster, by the way, everyone. OP, you'll never see a penny of that money back. If your mom wants to make more money, she can do her own OnlyFans account. You can volunteer to help her with it, but you do not have any obligation to give her money. I'd make sure you have at least an alert set up in case she uses your credit or anything. That's a good idea. I'd also stop getting paper statements, change all your passwords, and be very careful. Yeah.
The thing too is, like, if mom has the intention of, I'll pay you back in installments over the next couple of paychecks, tell mom to pay those same installments to the credit card.
Yeah, like,
come on,
sis. Mom,
Don't allow yourself to be manipulated that way.
mom,
Yeah.
come
Sorry,
on.
mom.
One more person says, do you pay rent at all? If I was you, I would take my mom's credit card and make the payments and make. What bad advice. I'd take my mom's credit cards and make the payments and make sure she isn't spending more unless she checks with you. Just the payments, not the full 6K. That is if you want to help her. But this is perfectly reasonable. It is perfectly reasonable to put limits on what you'll give your mom and in setting conditions. Banks do that all the time. Heck, parents even do that to their own kids. If mom gets angry, she can be put on a timeout. Helping her out isn't about getting money from you to spend. Maybe tell her she needs to go to the CCC. Not sure what that is. You seem savvy, so I hope you have an eye on your credit. Yeah. And the OP said, no, I don't pay rent. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, just nah.
A whole mess. The whole thing's a
That's
mess.
messy, man.
Yeah. Sis, you're only 18. I want you to focus on you.
Set a foundation
and
for yourself first.
Yes.
Put on your mask first, and then you can help mom with her mask.
Yes. Well, I hope no one can relate to this.
Right?
Yeah. But if you are listening and you enjoy these type of Coinfessions, you can either send me your own at dgbt@rennytheresearch.com. You can also join the conversation on Twitter and use the hashtag DGBTpod and tell us what you think. Should the mom pay off, or should she pay off her mom's credit card? Is she the asshole for not paying off her mom's credit card? Let us know and contribute to the conversation on Twitter. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you. This is fun, man. I enjoyed this. I'll be back next week. Don't worry.
Yes, come through. And if you want to plug yourself, tell us where to find you.
I can be found on Instagram, Twitter. That's it, actually. Sono Africano. That's Sono, Sono, African O.
And don't you have a podcast?
Man. Okay. So, yes, technically I have I do have a podcast.
Yes.
It's been dormant for a little bit, but we're coming back in a couple of weeks. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
It's called The Vowels Pod. It can be found anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Perfect. And I'll leave all of those links in the description box so you can find Sono wherever you want on all those platforms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Peace.